Welcome everybody. Hip Hop Lifers doing time. The Lifer Cast. We got Jay Kinser, EXP in the house.
What
we
up?
have our future man, Brutus Maximus, all the way from Australia. And
How's
we
it
have
going?
Dexter Price, aka Anthony L'Italian.
Yep.
What's going on, fellas?
Chilling.
What up, Brad?
How's everybody doing today, man? Not bad, Bo. What's going on?
Or tomorrow in Brutus's case.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's good, man. Tomorrow's good.
Jay
Yo, I'm
Kinser,
doing
how you
good
doing,
after
brother?
that Celtics win. That big Celtics win last night, baby.
Woo!
There you go.
Keep
Tell
it
us what
going.
you got going on, man.
Yo, what up? So, might as well just start off with my announcement. I'm dropping a single on June 3rd. It is called Cursed and Broken, and it features XL the Beast, my dude Heavy from EXP, and it was produced by The Archetype. And I'm going to drop the artwork for the song tomorrow, and that'll be out next week, one day before the big Salem Massacre show. So
Yes,
let's go.
Yeah. Word.
You guys
Perfect
all
time.
got to hear the song. What'd you guys think?
Fire.
Yeah, it is. It's dope.
Like I said, it sounds like a hit to me. So it's
Hell yeah. Can't wait
Got all
for
the-
everyone to hear it.
yeah, all the elements.
That's it. I can't wait to hear it either. I haven't heard it yet, but with your proven track record, I'm going to go out on a limb and suggest that it's pretty quality hip hop.
Yeah, man. So it's a real serious and personal song at its core, but it also has new school elements to it. So it's like it's a good mix. It's like dark, but it's also like up tempo. So like it checks a bunch of different boxes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly what I felt when I first heard it. I'm like, oh, this is a little dark, but it definitely gets your head knocking at the same time.
Yep. And XL smashed that hook, man.
Oh. Mm,
Yeah, he did.
yeah. No doubt.
So
Now
yeah,
it's,
shout out to XL the Beast, shout out to my dude Heavy, shout out to Archetype. We're gonna drop that song on June 3rd, and then we got the show the next day, June 4th. So can't wait for next weekend. It's gonna be a good time. Everyone needs to come out to that show in the Massachusetts area, man. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. My hometown. So gonna
Now
be a
with,
lot of Salem High heads and Salem people in there. Yeah. Might have a
With
few
your last
surprises. Let's see.
with your last LP, Jermaine Ave, where'd that come from?
So Jermaine Ave is the street I grew up on in Haverhill, Massachusetts. Like all my formative years were there, like middle school, high school, all that, man. We used to have like big old parties over there, man. Like anyone from Haverhill, like that was my age, like partied over there at some point, man. So that was such a big part of my life and my brother's life. So I decided to call the whole album Jermaine Ave, have it be a little concept-y, like a lot of concept tracks about back in the day and stuff, and really just had fun with the whole project, man.
Word.
Going back to that album for a minute, because this isn't obviously a new single. You say it's a bit heavy. The Jermaine Ave was, there was a lot of personal stuff in that. I remember one of my favorite tracks addressing mental health and so forth. So it's not something, these are some serious issues. It's not all just, banging beats and all that sort of stuff. But you really do intertwine a lot of personal stuff throughout while still making entertaining music, yeah?
Yeah, definitely, man. I feel like every great album needs a balance of personal stuff and just bars. So, like, my favorite artists were like Notorious B.I.G., Eminem, and those guys, like, you feel like you knew them after listening to their project. You feel like you could sit right down next to them and you already knew them just from their music. And that's how I always wanted to make my music, too. I want my listeners to really feel like they know me after they listen to a project. It ain't just bars and just trying to sound cool. I really dig deep into a lot of shit that I've been through and that I go through.
Now, do you think that makes writing songs easier to a point? Because you're talking about shit you've done?
Man, at this point, I've been writing songs for over 20 years. At this point, the albums write themselves, man. I just need to get the beat. I sit down and just whatever comes, man. I don't think too much about it beforehand. Whatever the beat makes me feel, that's the song. Like, I don't go in saying, like, this song's about this until I hear the beat. Whatever it makes me feel, that's what the song's about.
Right, right.
How did EXP come about?
So me and Heavy been rapping together for 20 years, man.
Wow.
Our first studio session will be 20 years this summer. And by studio, I mean, it was some rinky-dink little thing in a old diner basement, and we didn't know how to record it all. We just do one take. We didn't layer it. We didn't do no dubs, no ad-libs, nothing, no mixing. So that was about 20 years ago. So me and Heavy been rocking forever. And then he worked with Shot Elemental and a couple other people that were into hip-hop. And then we wanted to do it was more of a collaborative than really a group to start. And the Expendables movie had just came out. So we're like, yo, let's call it the Expendables. So yeah, that's pretty much how it happened. We had a big meeting at me and Heavy's apartment at the time. Self Khan and his brother came by. He doesn't rap with us no more, but Dirt Russell and Shot came by. My dude AWOL. G.I. was still in jail at the time. So I didn't meet him for like a full year after we had already started the stuff.
Right, right.
But yeah, I've been rocking with EXP for about 11 years.
Wow.
And it's really, we like family now, man. It's like a lot of my closest people I've met in life was through music, man. So it's like, it's more of a family than even like on some rap shit, honestly.
Hell yeah.
That seems like how the scene has been going now with everybody too. It's like a brotherhood, really.
Hell yeah.
Everybody's willing to work with each other. Everybody's willing to do something, and it's not like any fighting or like infighting or anything like that. You know, that's really dope.
Yo, shout out to my homie G.I.G. Jones. Salute, brother.
Yeah, we'll be seeing him.
Future man, you got any questions? Oh, your audio went out.
Yeah.
Am I back? Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah, you're back.
Cool. So, more observations and discussion points than straight up questions. But I remember, I can't remember the exact date, but starting Rawside a couple of years ago, and EXP were one of the we reached out because we heard the music and so forth. Talking about that brotherhood, I think it's fantastic now because so many people a lot of people don't make a heap of money of this. You can't make a full-time living off this. So if you're going to invest a lot of your spare time, it's got to be with people you love. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
people
exactly.
People that, the craft that you love. And that's what I think we're hearing more. And I've said it for a couple of years now, is that we're in a new golden age of hip-hop. And that's because we're seeing these relationships establish and develop and people really putting back in for each other. Not for any greater gain other than to do what they love, to do it with the people they love, and they're time poor. So those things mesh, they meld, and we're getting some insane music, we're getting some insane groups, we're getting some insane collaborations. So that's more of a point, but a good discussion to have as well.
Yeah. And it comes
man,
up,
I feel like
hear it.
I feel like the whole Massachusetts scene right now, we got a big family. I got my EXP family, but I got a big extended family of other sets and artists and producers and engineers and videographers. It's crazy, man. Like so much talent in Boston right now, in Massachusetts in general. It's insane, man. Thriving underground scene.
Yeah. In Southern New Hampshire too.
Yeah. Southern New Hampshire too.
Yeah.
All in New England too. There's some dope stuff coming out of Connecticut, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
But yeah, it really is a big brotherhood. Like everyone in this whole area.
Love it.
Yeah.
What are you working on for your next LP?
So my next LP is called Force of Will. I don't know if I've told anyone on Facebook or anything yet, but yeah, it's Jay Kinser, Force of Will. It's supposed to be out maybe July 22nd is the target date.
Word.
I was targeting July 15th, but I had a little setback. It should only cost me about a week, though. So July 22nd, Jay Kinser, Force of Will. And, this is my best project, man. I really believe that. It's got so many dope tracks, so many good features. And my production team, man, shout out to production team, man. I honestly feel like I got the best production team in the fucking world. I don't believe I could outsource it and get any better beats and production in any way. I really don't.
Right.
Go.
Brutus, your mic went off again.
Yep.
Yeah. Every now and then I have to continually yell at the dog. So I've got a puppy. He's 20 weeks old, and but he's a big ass puppy. He's a Rhodesian Ridgeback, and so I had one previously, and he grew to about 55 kilo. This little fella's 20 weeks, and he's about 25 kilo, and he's into everything. So if I do turn up my mic, it's to yell at that dude so that you don't have to hear me.
Kilo, he says. We all got that one.
Can we convert that real quick?
Right, going back to third grade math, trying to convert shit.
Later out.
I forget. It's funny because I feel like I know so much about you guys and the area and whatever else. But yeah, obviously still Australian, so all my measurements are still Australian. I just lob all New England in there together because I've never been there. I don't know. So I just sit there and say, holy shit, this whole area's got just like amazing music coming out of it. So I don't know all the nuances between, I don't know what you call them, suburbs, states, whatever. So yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, Kilo, I don't know what, get your calculators out, work it out to pounds, but he's a big ass dog.
Yeah, you got to Google it. But,
I think a kilo is 2.2 times. I think that's the math, right? So when you said 64 kilos, that's what? He's about 140, 150 pound dog.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's a big boy. Don't ask me how I know that math, that street math right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pound, ounce, kilo. I don't know.
Kilo was 1,000 grams. I know that.
Yeah. I always go to Ghostface for all my maths.
Yeah. It's easy to remember. All right.
Let's move on to what's your issue. It seems to be a nice little topic of discussion here. So Jay, you move up first. What's your issue, brother?
All right. My issue, man, is artists complaining about lack of support on social media.
Yes.
Don't do it. It's a terrible look. We've all done it, man. I probably did it coming up and stuff. We've all done it. Don't do it. You're alienating your current supporters while making people that are on the edge of checking you out, they're ghosts now. They don't want to check you out now. Why do they want to be another unappreciated supporter? Because you are like, oh, nobody supports me. Nah, man. Some of these artists are so entitled, man. This is art. Like, not everyone's going to check it out. You're going to have to work and make yourself appeal to people for them to check it out. I don't care if it's your mom, your brother, your best friend. They might not want to check it out. Maybe they're not the biggest hip-hop fan. Maybe they don't think you're working hard enough to really sustain any momentum and they don't want to waste their time. There's 1,000 reasons maybe why they don't check it out. But, just keep grinding, keep investing in yourself and improving. Trust me, eventually they'll come around. But once you start complaining, no one supports me. What the fuck? I share y'all shit, but you don't share mine. You're losing fans right there. You're losing fans. So it's not all going to come overnight. If you gain one fan per day, you had a good day. You do that for 5 years, that's 1,800 plus fans. Now,
right.
If those fans stream your music 100 times each throughout the year, that's 200,000 plays. If 5-10% of them buy merch, that's hundreds of t-shirts you're selling. You know what I mean? It ain't going to come overnight, man. Focus on getting one fan per day. Appreciate the fuck out of that fan. You guys see me. I try to talk to everyone. I try to comment on every time someone shares my music. I try to say thank you. I appreciate the share. I appreciate support.
Right.
You need to do that, man, to build your fan base, man. That's my pet peeve, really, man. Just put your head down, artists. Keep making dope music. Eventually, they will tune in.
Word.
You're right. You are right.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's annoying, man. And like you say, when you say alienate, yeah, it does. We're all busy people. There's a shitload of music coming out. You don't need a measurement for that. That's like an actual measurement, shitload.
Crazy.
Exactly, right? So you got limited hours in the day. You want to support all your people. And you only like certain stuff. Like, you're not going to like everything, okay?
Yep.
That's what I've always said. There's a lot of dope music and I love, a lot of it. But there's some stuff that I'll check it out and then that's it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I've got too much on the go trying to check out stuff that really resonates with me or something that's really in my lane or in my pocket. And that, It is. It's annoying because you're investing time. You're taking time out of other stuff to help support this. So you're right. Being entitled, underappreciated, whatever, it's a real turnoff, and it's desperate, man.
Yeah,
I think it was last night or the night before. I saw this video, Ninth Wonder, talking about how he wasn't worried about getting put on. He wasn't worried about blowing up. He wasn't worried about getting put on. He was worried about being the best.
Right.
And he's saying that, that's how the universe works. If you're the best at what you do, or if you're being great, and that's what I think he said, you're being great, people will find you. And he was talking about how Jay-Z found him. He bypassed all the people in New York, bypassed all the people in LA and whatever else, and found this dude in North Carolina because his music was good.
Right.
All the Ninth worried about was being great, and Jay found him. So I think that resonates really well. You don't just have to be constantly hammering people with support me, support me, support me. Just focus on what you do and do that to the best of your ability, and someone every day will find you. And that's why I said the other day, keep plugging your old stuff. Keep plugging your old stuff because, you might hear this new single from Jay, right? And you haven't heard 11 2 years ago, which is a dope album too, by the way. It was a fantastic concept. So all of a sudden, you go back and you revisit that. You know what I mean? So, and MJ used to say the same thing. I know you're a Celtics fan, Jay, but you love your hoops. MJ used to say the same thing. I'll give it my best every game because there'll be someone, this will be the only time they see me. There'll be someone up in the stands seeing me for the first time or the only time. So all I focus on is being great.
Yep. That's how I feel about shows too. Every show I perform at, whether it's 20 people or 500 people, like you said, a couple of those people, that's going to be their first and maybe only time seeing me. So I want to act like it's filled. I don't care. I'm going to do my best performance. So wait till y'all see me perform live, man. I black out. I go nuts. I'll drink beers on the stage, give out merch. It's crazy, man. I'm a sweaty mess at the end of the show sometimes, man. I go nuts out there. Me and EXP, we bring some energy that, I feel bad for the people going on after us, especially if you're a solo act and you're going to follow us after we just put out all this energy. It's tough, man. So the same thing, man. I give everything at every show, regardless of the circumstances, man.
Well, you got to be memorable. That's the thing. You got to stick in someone's brain, and that's really a live performance. I think is the way to do it, because you'll see that person one time and you'll be like, damn, that shit was dope. And then you're gonna go search for everything. You're gonna go hit YouTube. You're gonna look for videos. You're gonna look for all that. And so you really got to stick in someone's brain. For the dudes that are getting mad, that's just straight bitterness.
Yeah.
It sucks. And those are the same dudes that don't support their people, but they'll cry about it.
Yeah.
They'll only support in hopes that you support them back. It's not true support. That type of support.
Right, exactly. That's what I mean. It's not true support. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's crazy. The share for share mentality on online is crazy. Share what you like. I try to support as much people I can. I don't get around to everything, but I try. And if you support my music, trust me, I'm gonna appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's very transactional now.
Yeah, man.
It's what can you do for me? You know what I mean? And that's
right.
And that's something I know we've all spoken about at length. And it's another. It's a pet peeve of mine, because do something because it's the right thing to do. Share the music because you actually love it, not because someone told you to, not because you feel like you'll get something in return. Is share it because it's dope. Share it because it's awesome. Share it because you want someone else to hear it. You know what I mean?
Share it because it inspires you. Truly inspires you. Regardless of that other person's following, whatever, share it because it inspires you. That's it. That's what I want to do. I want to inspire people. And when I do that, it always comes back around, man. That energy and inspiration always comes back around. So I ain't just making music to make cool words rhyme and to be the toughest, hardest, best rapper. They can be the best rapper. I want to be the best artist, the best songwriter, the one that inspires people. That's what I'm in it for. And that's it.
Word. All right, who wants to go next?
Brutus, you're up next. What's your issue?
Man, I got lots of issues. And I know when Weapon ESP, not Weapon EXP, when Weapon ESP wants to get back, because he hit me up this morning, my time, saying that, drumless beats. And it isn't a pet peeve of mine. I would say that normally to be funny, but it's not a pet peeve of mine. Done really well. I can handle them for certain. But, I love things that back. My pet peeve is and we're talking about it now, the only thing that I miss in hip hop, it shows. right? Australia, we don't get a lot of shows, right? We don't get a lot of shows, and it's hard because we're a million miles away. We're in the future. It takes a lot of everything's upside down.
Yeah.
However you want to play it, right?
Yeah.
It's difficult. We don't get a lot of shows, and so hearing you guys talk about and watching the first Hip Hop Lifers presents, right?
Yeah.
I need to be there, and I can't. So that's my pet peeve because I love all this music and I love watching songs performed live. Hearing Jay describe what a show is and how he approaches it and stuff, like you want to be there for that. So it's I think, and I've spoken to you, Brad, a number of times about how I never wanted to do this forum because I didn't feel like people were ready for Australians. But hip hop is worldwide, right? It is worldwide, and but the only thing that doesn't translate is the shows. So that's the difficult part. So I get to see all this, and it's great that we can see some of these things via streaming and whatever else. So my pet peeve is that this is the only way that I can support a lot of the time is by bumping the music or doing stuff like this. In saying that, Onyx, and I just reached out to Det Keller this morning, Onyx are coming out to Australia in October. So I'm going to go down and see DJ Illegal from the Snow Goons.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be my little bit of a taste of that. But yeah, that's my pet peeve.
Shout out to DJ Illegal. That's my guy, man. He's done a lot for me. I appreciate him.
Yep. Word.
They're a whole cool crew. Love them. So, and again, worldwide, Germany, we're talking, this is crazy. But yeah, man. The only peeve is that I just don't get to be fully immersed in it like you guys are. So when, Jay's sitting there talking about the upcoming show, I'm like, man, I would be there, front row, sweating mess. Like I would.
Some of my favorite fans are my international fans, man. Canadians, Australians, Europeans. Those are some of my best and favorite fans, man. They're extremely supportive. Like, it's the fact that it's so easy for your music to reach all across the world now. You don't got to worry about being local or being better than the guy down the street. Who cares, man? Get people from around the world to truly buy in and listen to your stuff, man. It's so easy nowadays. Now, the market's flooded because of it, but it's so easy to get your music worldwide now. And, man, I appreciate all my international supporters, too, man. I love y'all.
Hey, you should try to hook up with M-Dot. He goes on international tours all the time.
Yo.
He's in Europe on Friday.
That's my man, M-Dot, yo. Yep. Yo, bring me to Europe, man. I'm down, man. I'll be killing these stages for them, man. I need that, man.
And they probably appreciate it more, I would think, then, because here in America, like he said with shows, we can go to anything. We could just be like, okay, I don't want it. I'm going to sit that one out, and that's kind of that's like selfish of us almost to the rest of the world. That's the way I see it. It's like, come on now. But they probably appreciate it a lot more because it's not something that they get every day. And especially like the music too.
Yeah.
But
word.
Tony, what's your issue, man?
Okay, mine is less hip hop music related. It's more, I'm not going to get political, but it's just something that's on my mind because of what's going on with our buddy Speak the Rebel. Get better, get some help, and
shout out to Speak.
Absolutely.
Hit up the GoFundMe if you can help. That would be great. If not, just share it. And so my issue is, why don't we have universal health care in the U.S.? Why? It's fucking bullshit. It's such a money-driven industry right now, and they don't want to help people. They don't care about helping you. They actually want to keep you sick because they can make more money off sick people. They don't
become
want you to
capitalized. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it is. It's horrible.
Prescription drugs, and it's hospitals that they won't treat him. He walks in with cash in hand. They won't take his money because you have to be part of a program or a plan or
wild.
That's
wild, man.
He walks in there. Here's the money for.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's because they can get more from the insurance companies.
They can't take cash in hand at a doctor anymore. It's crazy. He doesn't have insurance right now, so he can't get the care that he needs, and it's pissing me off.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's
horrible.
Terrible.
He's been trying for 3 weeks now. Nobody will take the money.
Yeah,
he doesn't have insurance connected.
And he's sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's sick. So, and there are a lot of things I don't understand about your world, right?
It's crazy.
And gun laws, all of it, because I just live in a different environment. So public health care, we don't have gun, all this sort of stuff. Like, it's vastly different. But the premise remains the same. Anything that's profitable is what gets pushed, right? There's no money in healthy people. There's no money, and that's why, there's no money in healthy people. There's no money in smart people. There's no money in this, that, and the other. All they want to do is continually make money off the problem rather than intervene early. And early
capitalism is out of control. It's out of control, man. There's too many billionaires. There's too much money in the hands of a little. It's out of control.
Yeah.
It is. It's broken. It's broken.
It is.
Everything's corrupt and it's broken, man. I don't know the answer to how to fix it at all. I just make rap music and watch sports and shit, but fucking, it's crazy. It's wild. You're absolutely right, Tony.
There is no answer to fix it. There isn't one. You have to start over. You have to start from scratch.
Here's my thing, too. I've been in a union for 12 years now. My father's been the president of the union for 35 years, and half of our negotiations at the table is healthcare now. Before, I used to go to work, and everybody that worked had healthcare. And if you didn't have healthcare, you could go down the street and you could walk into a clinic and get help. The past 20 years, the bargaining table is all just 90% of the negotiations is figuring out the healthcare compensation, who's going to split what goes where, prescription drugs, and then by the time we're done with that, we can't get to anything else because 90% of our negotiations was on healthcare. So we can't focus on economics and language and this and that. And that's how they want it. It's crazy. So it's nuts. Fuck that. All right, I'm done.
I appreciate what you're doing though, Tony. I see it shared. I share it. I appreciate what you do because again, that just like we said at the start of this just goes back to this family mentality, man. It's it's one thing to see an issue and know that we can't inherently change it, but you can do your bit, and you do your bit every single day. You do your bit every single day, and that's that family, and that's what I love about this culture, and particularly your little area right now. But this culture in general has transitioned from a divisive one to a more universal, coherent one, particularly in your area. And so when you take the time to help outside of the fact that he makes dope music is fantastic, man.
Yeah. Word.
Yeah, he's a great guy who really needs the help, and it just sucks that he's hitting wall after wall after wall.
Frustrating.
And it's a bad situation, but he'll be all right. It's gonna work at some point. Somebody's gonna crack, and it's gonna be all right.
Yo, shout out to Speak. He's got a project coming up with Shy Elemental, who's my EXP brother. Scum Lords.
And
I already dropped a 16 on that project, so don't worry. I'm already on that one. And I played me some of the stuff. It sounded real good. Yeah. And Shy also has a Dastardly Grin 2 project coming out, produced by Silly Grin completely. And yo, that shit's fire. I heard 4 or 5 joints the other day at the studio with him and Heavy, and that shit's fire. So shout out to Shy Elemental and Speak.
I heard
and MC Records.
He's doing an album with Bo Fat too.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of good shit coming up from everybody, and that's beautiful. Can't wait. This summer's gonna be wild for music.
Yeah,
especially coming out of Boston, it's gonna be wild.
We're gonna have a big end of the year. My shit's dropping. EXP already has a full album recorded with Mr. DL. We're just waiting to find the release date and maybe finish the track or something, but that should be out before the end of the year. My bro Heavy's working hard on a new solo, his first real official solo album. I'm expecting that maybe by the end of the year in those 2 or 3 shop projects. So you could find 5 or 6 EXP projects by the end of the year.
Wow,
that's dope. All right, my issue. I'm gonna go with how people have been treating each other nowadays. Just like online, in person, like everyone's just so cold to each other lately. And I get it, COVID. Everyone's had their issues, and but you figure something like that would bring us more together. But politics and all this other bullshit that's kind of intruded on everyone's life in the past 4 or 5 years, it really drove a wedge in just everyday life between people. Yep. Like even like your work relationships can be like super stressful for no reason because there's like this overlying tension everywhere. And I don't know if it's like that in Australia, but I feel it in the US.
Yeah. There's a couple of different things. I guess we're different. So obviously Australia, Melbourne, we had like the world's longest lockdowns. Let me tell you that right now.
I know. I saw the news. It's
nuts, right? We had the world's longest lockdowns. And then when we're coming out of lockdown, people were getting COVID or they were close contacts. So you get locked down again. To start this year, I was locked down for over 3.5 weeks of the first 3 months. And I never even had COVID at that point. I've had it since, but I say this is that we suffered the longest lockdowns, right? ours is a little bit different, and it might just be my experience and whatever else, is that we became a bit more communal because we suffered for such a long period of time. And Australia, we're a lot more spread out. People aren't just next door and all that sort of stuff, right? So ours was a little bit more different in that you had to make an effort. If your parents were quarantined, you had to make the effort to go and get something and drop it at their door. And when I did get locked down, and then eventually when I had COVID, people dropping gift packs at my door, coloring stuff for the kids. You know what I mean? Like,
we've been discovered by the cat.
It's different. It's different, and I can't. And I'm sure there's a whole lot of different reasons for it. But to your point, Brad, I think just inherently, just due to online, people have taken away that personalism, right?
Yeah.
And so now all of a sudden it's like, well, I can say and do whatever I want because this isn't a real person. Whereas the same is true is that I feel like I know you guys, never met you, talked to you for a couple of years, but I feel like I know you because of the way that we communicate and engage. You know what I mean? So there's two different ways of looking at it, but your mentality's got to be correct. And I just feel like that there's too much of this woe me and this is all sucked, and then you sort of mirror that out on the rest of the world, and it's divisive.
Or the us versus them mentality.
Yeah, exactly. The crabs in a bucket.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our apocalypse pack. Let's get into some music here. Jay, you're up first, brother.
All right, so explain the parameters again to me.
You got to pick 4 albums from 4 different genres of music. Doesn't have to be hip hop, but it can break down into subgenres.
Subgenres? I was thinking more wide genres. But so I'm gonna do wide genre. So for hip hop, I'm gonna go Notorious B.I.G. Life After Death.
Okay.
That's the most important rap album to me personally, and to me, it's a work of art. So I'm gonna pick that one for hip hop. For rock and roll, I'm gonna have to go with Foo Fighters, their second album, the Color and the Shape or whatever.
Yeah. Word.
I love the Foo Fighters. We saw them at Fenway Park in 2018. It was the best show I ever been to, the best concert ever I've ever been to. It was wild. R.I.P. to Taylor Hawkins, man. That's terrible. He was an incredible performer.
Yeah,
him and Dave Grohl were amazing. It was the best show I've ever been to. So that's rock and hip hop. That's mostly what I listen to. Like I listen to a lot of classic rock and stuff. So this one, I'm gonna go in left field and pick R&B pop and go Justin Timberlake, Future Sex Love Sounds, produced by Timbaland.
Okay.
Some of that shit on that album's crazy. The Beast by Timbaland, Justin killed that shit.
Yeah, that'll put you in a good mood if you're down, You'll be like, yeah, I'm having a bad day on this island. Let me put this shit on. Yeah.
I'll play it at work and stuff, so I don't got to be playing DMX or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? So I'll fuck with that album, Justin Timberlake. Okay. And the fourth one, we'll go. This one's going to piss a lot of people off. We'll go some new metal, rock, rap. And who else could it be other than Limp Bizkit, Significant Other? Okay. That album was dope to me. I was like maybe a freshman or sophomore in high school when that came out. And that shit was dope. They did a song with Method Man and DJ Premier, and just like all the stuff they were doing was dope, man. They had 3 good albums I listened to. People like to make fun of Limp Bizkit, but I fuck with some of that shit.
Everybody that hates on them fucked with them.
Yep.
That's bottom line.
It wasn't cool to like them anymore, so people wanted to be cool. I don't care. Like, they got some dope shit, man.
Yeah, they did. That first Limp Bizkit album is dope.
Yeah, that one too. Yeah.
The one that no one listens to.
Yeah. Was that $3 bill?
Yeah. No one listens to that one. No one brings up anything from that. But that shit was dope as fuck.
Yeah.
Counterfeit will make you want to punch somebody.
I almost wanted to go to that show, but once they changed it from Lowell to Mansfield, I was like, definitely no. No. Because they were supposed to play in Lowell. I was like, Limp Bizkit in Lowell? It's like a 20-minute ride for me. Like, I'd be down for that.
Word.
So they changed to Worcester or whatever. I don't know.
Fuck that. All right, who's next?
Brutus, you're up next, brother.
Cool. Good taste, Jay. I love it. And it brings me back to my original point is that, Limp Bizkit blew up with their second album, and then everyone went back out and grabbed $3 bill, y'all. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. There's going to be music that keep promoting your old shit because someone's going to come back and listen to it. But yes, there was a very heavy a cool period of time where Limp Bizkit and Korn and that were sensational.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I remember seeing the film clip for Freak on a Leash by Korn, and I was just like, this is insane.
Yeah.
They made some great music. I'll go backwards. So one that I love, and you probably like, I'm the same as you, Jay. I listen to 99% hip hop, but a lot of rock and stuff as well. So Tool, Enema, anything from Tool, but Tool Enema is a particularly favorite album of mine, and something that I can put on anytime, anywhere, and just dig it. Still,
they got some crazy beats. That bassist over there is like wild.
Musically, man, they are insane. And the first sort of EP, Opiate, actually hosts my favorite tracks. But Enema, in terms of an album, Tool just makes some incredible music. Man, they are just, musicians, man. You know what I mean? Like when you can just I wish I was there for the creation of that, because what happened then won't be replicated, and was something special. And I felt like there's, 12, 14, 15 moments on Enema that you feel exactly the same way. So that's cool. So that's one for me. Hip hop wise, I have to go with Illmatic, and it's not because it's a classic album. It's not because it still gets play. Reasonable Doubt still gets play, but for me, it's the story. So for me to be able to get Illmatic on CD was a trip to the train station, a train ride an hour and a half down to Melbourne, and then walk a million miles to get to the one record store that had it. Right? That's
right. Dedication.
Hip hop accessible music, right?
Yeah.
And it's that whole journey. And I did the same thing when Allen Iverson's Sneakers came out. Again, had to make this journey. And those things are the things that stick in your mind, because it's the whole experience around it. Right. So I'll always go back to Illmatic being one of my, not necessarily my favorites, even though it is, but one of the most important albums to me, because that was the commitment you made to get there and to get that. So that's my hip hop album. Here's one I had a left field for you. John Mayer, Room for Squares. Right?
Okay.
I know, and everyone's going to slay me for it, and I don't care, because I'm comfortable in my own skin, right? But
there you go.
Yes, John Mayer, Ed Sheeran, all that stuff that people make for lonely housewives or whatever they say.
I mean, maybe if you said Adam Levine or something, maybe I could rock with that, but I don't know about John.
I still Adam Levine too. I could appreciate people that sing and that are, again, musically inclined. And I'll send a link around in the group or whatever. There's John Mayer did a cover of Mac Miller. I don't know whether you've ever heard it, but Emotional Man, amazing.
Hear that?
Yeah. I'll chase it down and find it out for you. And am I up to my fourth one? Yeah, probably the fourth one.
Yeah.
I'll go with an R&B tip, and it's Usher's 8701.
Okay.
So I love it from start to finish. The guy
Usher had some bangers.
Oh man, and that charisma, like you could be playing that loud, and you you can be a fat old man in sweats, and you're like, I'm sexy. You know what I mean? Like, it made you feel like some kind of way. And amazing dancer, amazing performer, amazing singer, and put out some incredible music. So if I'm going to try and stick to actually doing a lot of different genres, there's my four.
Word.
Good picks. Tony, you're up.
Okay, this is like my fourth time doing this, so I've had to switch it up every time. So for hip-hop this time, I went with Midnight Marauders. That was one of probably top 5 album any genre for me. Probably one of the first hip-hop albums I sat down and just memorized from cover to cover at that age. I could put it on and do every single word verbatim. Probably couldn't do it anymore, but back then it was just because it had the words in the liner notes, and you could sit there and study the liner notes and all that shit. So yeah, that was great.
Yeah, those were the good old days.
Yeah,
you have to have all the lyrics right there at your fingertips.
Oh yeah, remember that was like one of my first trips on a plane too. I brought that with me and just played it back and forth the whole ride there, the whole time in the hotel. Was just means a lot. So then for the next one, I'm gonna go with reggae, Bob Marley, legend. Classic.
Hell yeah, I fuck with some Bob Marley.
Oh yeah, I go to a lot of reggae shows too. I got friends that are in reggae groups.
He's back there. This is Bob.
What up? Yeah.
Right. There you go. Is the cat just staring at nothing?
My parents have been to Jamaica 12 times now, and I've been there twice. So yeah, we do a lot of reggae shows around here. It's Springsteen, a couple Marleys, a couple other things. So yeah, that one.
Slap at the bass.
Yeah. So
That's for you,
metal,
Heavy.
Oh, sorry. So from metal, I'm gonna go with Life of Agony and the album Ugly. I don't know if everybody's familiar with that band, Life of Agony, but
No, sir.
okay, listen to it. It's like New York hardcore from like the mid '90s hardcore metal. Yeah, he's like a great songwriter. And he was in a couple other groups too, but he does like a not like Iron Maiden type, but he has like a really good singing voice. He's not just all like growling, screaming. He actually can sing. Keith Caputo. So yeah, listen to that. It's a great album. Lost at 22, one of my favorite songs of all time. It's about being young and depressed and dealing with shit because you're figuring out you don't know everything and you're finding shit out. So it's a great album. And then I'm gonna go classic rock. The first Leonard Skinner album, and it's the name of the album is pronounced Leonard Skinner. So
I'll fuck with some Skinner.
All that other stuff on it, So great, yeah, definitely that for classic rock.
All right, I'm gonna go with hip hop. I'm going with a Crimini because I was like right around I'm gonna say I think I was in 9th grade or something, like 8th grade or something when that shit came out, and I lived down south in high school, so that was like anything Southern was always playing throughout the streets, and you just ran with it. It wasn't too heavy on the East Coast at all, but that was definitely a good one. My I don't know if you want to call it hair metal or whatever you want to call it, but I'm gonna go with Guns N' Roses, and Appetite for Destruction.
Yeah.
Because everybody loved Sweet Child of Mine and all those other tracks off that. Everybody fucked with that back then when you were a little kid running around while your mom was drinking a beer and smoking a cigarette, So my next one, I have my 2 others. I'm always drawing blanks. But
yeah, it's hard after those 2 genres. Let's go subgenre.
Yeah, unless you go subgenre. But I am going to go subgenre. I'm going to go with the first Korn album. That shit was it always touched a nerve, and that little angst-ridden teenager that wanted to break everything. Korn always did the trick. And my last one, I'm not a huge Beatles fan, but I can totally respect it, is the Sgt. Pepper album. Because they like went off the rails with that one and went totally musically different than what they came out with and what they hit America with, and you got to respect it. You might not be the biggest fan, but there's got to be something on there that you're gonna really dig.
I love the Beatles.
So those are my 4. Those are my 4 I take with me.
That's good. And what you said about early Korn and stuff is that angst. That's what Rage Against the Machine did. You know what I mean? Yep. So I could have easily picked a Rage album now that I think of it.
That was sort of. I could have picked Rage too.
Yeah, love them.
And Rage is special to me though because they they were the first ones to bridge that gap. I think between that metal, rock, and hip hop, just blended that shit together.
They were supposed to be performing this weekend at the Big Boston Calling. This weekend was supposed to be Rage Against the Machine, Foo Fighters, and Red Hot Chili Peppers, the main 3 nights. And those are probably the 3 biggest bands I want to go see. So we were like, yo, that's insane. And me and my brother were looking forward to it, and then all of them bailed. Yeah. COVID or whatever. Now not one of them. Now it's like Metallica, who's okay, but I ain't going out for Metallica. Weezer, and I don't even know. No one that good in comparison. We were really disappointed about that. That was supposed to be this weekend. That was supposed to be tomorrow.
Yeah. Sucks.
Imagine that. It should have been amazing. Yeah. I would have died on day 3, though. And I can't do a 3-day festival like that. I literally would have died. I probably would have had to take Monday and Tuesday off from work just to get it done.
So let's move on to our topic of discussion for the day. And it was something that Weapon actually posted on Facebook today. And it got me thinking, and of course it got me doing a little rant in my post. But it's the whole pay-to-play issue from promoters to artists. Like that whole fucked up system that we at HHL will never fucking do. I'll let everybody know that right now. Like anybody that's willing to come and work with us will never ask you to pay. But what are your thoughts on that? And have you run across that?
Yeah, we run across it all the time, man. When we came up, we were doing big shows at the Middle East. So this is with my dude's Leeds Entertainment, who's a good guy. We'd pay, but he'd give us tickets to reimburse. So EXP as a group would get like 30 tickets, would get them for like 70% face value. It would all split it, and I'd have like 5 or 6 tickets to sell. And I sold mine every single time. Some people got stuck with a few, some people didn't try, whatever. So we participated, but these were dope shows. We were opening up for Slain in Action, Bronson, La Coca Nostra, Omega on the Realness Anniversary Tour, Freeway. Like, we did a bunch of good shows at the Middle East. 400 or 500 people at all these shows. So was that pay to play? Yeah and no. I mean, at least we were a good act that showed up with energy, and like he wasn't pulling no, you know what I mean? So, and throughout the years, we've done less of that though. We've just tried to book on our merit. And but it's all, we get offers all the time. Like, no, we ain't paying you to play on your show.
Right.
And then most of those shows have like 10, 12, 15 opening acts. It's wild. So you pay to go on at 7. The main act don't go on at 12, and no one sees both of you. Like, you ain't get no shine like that. So yeah, man, it's a fucked up game, man. Everything's backwards. Everyone's trying to make a quick dollar. You guys seem to be doing it right and just making good cards and just doing it the right way. It's hard out there though.
It is. So I wrote a little.
Go ahead, Tom.
So I wrote a little bit down just to get my thoughts in one place, and I'll just read what I wrote, and then we can discuss it from there if you want. So I wrote, I think it's designed to keep independent, funded artists down, and it's like, especially where like if you want to pay for radio airplay, like, you know, like the only people that are going to get a chance there are people that have a record label backing them that are going to pay for that for them. You know, most of these dudes are living paycheck to paycheck, trying to make ends meet. They're not going to have the disposable income to go out there and pay to be on the radio or pay to do these shows, you know, or pay to be in, you know, that Joyner Lucas contest where he called up people, you know, 5 people, said maybe those people that you're trying to get can't afford your price because they're independent artists and they're not, they just can't do it. It doesn't make sense for them because they need to put that money into maybe the album they're working on or promo or something else or paying their bills. How's about like, and it's crazy. Like I just don't understand it. Like, get in on this side of it to do the shows and the promotion just to make money, then you're not here for the culture. You're here for yourself. Fuck that. Fuck you. So, disgust.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I see. Is like, we're not making a dime. We're putting everything back into merch and other shows and trying to do it the right way. And I know that a lot of people see that, and it's great, and we appreciate every single one of you. We appreciate everybody that comes to the shows, and we appreciate the artists the most, because really without you guys, we wouldn't be shit.
Right.
The page would just be the page wouldn't be nothing, because there would be nothing to talk about, to share,
right,
and to love. There'd be absolutely nothing. So we respect every single artist that's ever done a bill with us, that ever will do a bill with us, and we love all y'all's work, and that's why we actually look to y'all. And that's fucking, it's an amazing thing that we can all come together and get this shit done. And you guys got to get paid fully. If someone's like, oh, I want to do it for free because they need the fan base or they need the following or something like that, then that's your choice.
Right.
If you want to do it for free, that's your choice, and we won't step in the way of that either. No. So, Brutus, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and I think again, we spoke about it earlier. It comes down to this commercialism, this you know, people in it for a quick buck. You know, they see it as an opportunity to make money. They don't see it as an opportunity to promote the art, to grow the culture, to create a memorable night that people will think and look back to the way every one of us four has mentioned something in our history, you know, that resonates. Right. They don't care about that. They don't care about that at all. All they care about is lining their pockets. And they do it the same way that your governments here and over there do it, and that's by taking advantage of the vulnerable, right? The people that are easy to part with their money because they're desperate, right? They're desperate to get the show. They're desperate.
It waters down the shows too.
Oh,
you know what I mean? That's what they're doing. They're preying on people, man. It's they're not asking all these other mainstream acts or people with a bit of backing to pay to play. They're asking the people that can't afford it because they're playing on their weakness, their necessity, their insecurity, their want to blow up. You know what I mean? And because we've told them that, hip hop as a culture has said, you got to be this, you got to be that, blah blah blah. So everyone's fighting, right, to try and to blow up. And we said at the start of the show, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be trying to be great, and the rest will happen for you. What I love about you guys, and look, we operate the same way. The number of people that hit my inbox and say, how much for a review? And I don't do it. I can't do it. I could make money off it if I wanted to, but I can't put my name to anything that's shit.
We've discussed it before, but we haven't done it.
And, I'm a family man. I got a wife. I got 2 young kids. I work 40 plus hours a week. I commute fucking 4 hours in a car every day. Yeah. The limited time that I can dedicate to hip hop, I'm not going to waste that by, making a quick buck to promote some whack trap shit that I can't stand behind.
Take the money and then tell them that shit's whack and roast them in that review. I don't teach them. Right.
But again, it's such desperation, and don't do it. I won't ever do it. But I also try to, I guess, teach a little bit and say you don't need to do this, right? Keep putting it out there, and I can't guarantee that I'll get to it, or maybe I'll get to it in 8 months' time or whatever. But cheapening yourself to try and get into these spots, you don't need it. Instead of paying for a review from some fat white dude in Australia, put it into your show, put it into your craft, put it into your equipment, put it into something that makes you great. Right. Invest in yourself. All these other people are trying to take the money from you, right? And they do that because of your insecurity. Invest in yourself. The same way hip hop lifers are investing in the culture, the same way I invest my time in it, and any money you make, which I don't make any, it costs me money to host a website and all that sort of stuff. But, every now and then, G-Fan Black from the depths of wherever he is over there will send me a CD, right? And it's crazy, right? Don't expect it, but it's a beautiful thing. And he feels like he wants to do that and whatever else. It's the way of us supporting each other that is changing that narrative, right? And the more we speak on it, the more people learn, hang on, I'm not here to be taken advantage of. There are people that are doing it the right way. They're a minority right now, right? But eventually the quality shines through. And I think that's why we continue to do this and been doing it for a couple of years now, is that we continue to do this for the culture and for the people that need it.
And artists, too many artists try to do shows before they're ready. If you don't have content already out, if you haven't been doing it for 5+ years, you're probably not ready yet. Wait till you're ready to really be a performer, especially if you're gonna have to pay money. Too many people, they're like, I wrote a song yesterday, I'm gonna go perform it. Pay $200 to go perform it, and they don't know what they're doing. It's just crazy. Everyone wants to go to point A to point Z overnight. And just, all right, I wrote a song, I'm a performer now. Nah, man, you gotta wait years into writing music and releasing music before you even think about performing.
Yeah, that's a good point, TJ. That's a really good point. Really good point.
So it's the whole instant gratification culture too that we live in nowadays. Yeah, everybody wants everything now.
And, I'm not saying don't follow your dreams. If you want to perform, go do it, but take it serious. Show up on time. Be ready then. And have music already out there. Right. If you're gonna perform, they should be able to go listen to your music somewhere, right?
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Sweet. So.
But this has been a good one, fellas. We're gonna start to wrap it up here.
Yep.
Mr. Kinser, you want to push anything? You got anything you want to plug?
Yeah, man, I got a lot I want to plug. There's so much going on right now.
Plug it up, man. Plug it up.
So my new single, Cursed and Broken, featuring XL the Beast and Heavy, drops next Friday, June 3rd. And then the next day, Saturday, June 4th, we have a show at the Opus in Salem, run by you guys.
Yes, sir.
Opus Underground.
Opus Underground, okay, in Salem, Massachusetts. It's going to be a dope show, man. XL the Beast is also performing. So I'm dropping a single on Friday and then performing with him the next day. And we might get a surprise for y'all in the set list. There might be something going down. So that
Okay.
show's going to be crazy. Shout out to my dudes, Rove the Rebel and Silly Grin. They're also performing. Who else? Slipwax and Wolfie, Logan of Genosha. Who else? Paranoia and
Chet
I'm
Light.
forgetting someone.
Chet.
Shed Light too. Yeah, that's a good lineup, man. I'm very excited for this show. EXP is about to bring some energy. We're gonna rip the whole fucking roof down. I feel bad for everyone after us. I'm saying, step your bars up. Like, let's go.
Yep.
And so then my album Force of Will be out in mid-late July. Look out for that. EXP album, fully produced by Mr. DL, should be out this year. Like I said, the Scumlords album with Shy and Speak the Rebel, that should be out. Shy Elemental and Silly Grin, Dastardly Grin 2, that should be out. Heavy solo project. We all working real hard right now. And we're gonna flood this summer and this fall with a bunch of music, man. It's gonna be dope. I can't wait for all this. We're right there. We're right there.
Mm-hmm.
Word. I'm gonna thank everybody for joining us tonight. Thank you, Future Man, for coming.
One
Coming all the way from the future.
Hell yeah! I was pumped up when I found out he was the last panelist.
Hell yeah! Everybody that doesn't follow Raw Side Hip Hop, please go and follow Raw Side Hip Hop.
Yes.
Yeah. Always repping.
Get a shirt.
Yes, sir. We got merch for sale. We got our tees. We got our hats. We have physical copies of Brutal Caesar, Chaos Caperius, Calpurnia. Damn, he makes hard titles. But that's out right now too. We got that for y'all. Hit up our Bandcamp. Yeah, we got the Bandcamp. Y'all know we push it. So, but definitely come to the show. Opus Underground, June 4th. You know the lineup. We got the tickets for sale. Ticket links are all over the page. We got cats. We got dogs. We got all kinds of animals up in here because we animal lovers at HHL. Yep, there he is. Jackson's in the other room with his mother. He don't like me too much. But
he's the big boy cow cat.
Oh shit, he got multiple cats.
I got two, yeah.
But
Bad pussy.
Again, Jay, thank you for joining us, brother.
Yeah, man, thank you. I had a good time. Usually I be drinking, but too much Celtics drinking, so I had to take the night off.
There you go. All right, we're gonna end this here tonight. Thanks, Tone, for joining us. Thank you, Brutus.
Yeah.
Doing time, episode 8 in the books. So, everyone, thank you so much.
Have a good night.
Yeah, come to our show, man. Come to our show, everybody.
Peace.
Have a night.